I'm Grace.
So let's get started.
I'm a recipe blogger, family-taught home chef,
Cheers.
Cheers.
iPhone-only photographer, and proud New Englander.
I'm going to eat one full baguette by myself right now. No overnight rising, no 100 steps, just a darn good homemade baguette recipe. I'm almost a little upset that I discovered this recipe because I can make homemade baguettes in 3 hours. Less than 3 hours, actually. It's only like 2.5 hours. How insane is that? And they're incredible. So let's hop to it. No time to waste because I'm hungry. So the first step is to mix together basically all of your dry ingredients. So I have some bread flour here. You want to use bread flour. Bread flour is key to making delicious bread. And you're just gonna stick all your flour, whoa, just poofed, into a mixer. You wanna use a mixer for this if you have one. You can do it by hand, but it's just a lot easier to use a mixer. We have some salt, a generous pinch, and then I have some instant yeast, and you can just buy instant yeast in the grocery store. Make sure it's instant. Open up the little packet and put it right in your mixer. Make sure no yeast is left behind. Then we want to turn on our mixer and just stir together your dry ingredients. Perfect. Just tap this off, and now I'm gonna take off my whisk attachment and I'm gonna put on my dough attachment because we'll be using it in a second. We need to microwave our water to, I forgot. I have some water. I'm going to microwave the water until it reaches 120 to 130 degrees. It needs to be nice and warm to feed the yeast. Look at that. Between 120 and 130, I just kind of stir around the water to make sure it's evenly between those two temperatures. And then I'm going to turn my mixer on, just low speed here. And I'm gonna add in the water, just in a steady stream while the mixer is going. And that warm water is going to activate our yeast. So I like to turn my mixer on about 2 speed. This is a good kneading speed, and we're gonna let this dough knead for about 5 minutes. 5 minutes, set that timer. It's been 5 minutes. And you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, that dough is just crazy sticky. And it is really, really sticky, but you want sticky dough for a baguette. So what you wanna do is just kind of peel off the dough from the dough hook. Bring your dough closer to a lightly greased bowl. And I'm just gonna lightly flour my hands, lots of lightly. And I'm just going to peel the dough right out of this bowl and bring it on over to our, I'm struggling. Bring it right on over to our lightly greased bowl over here. And it's okay if it's sticking to your hands. That's totally normal and expected and wanted. You kind of just want to form it into a loose ball, just like this, and make sure all the dough is transferred from your sticky fingers to that big ball. And then go wash your hands. Time to let our baby rest. So you're gonna cover your bowl with plastic wrap, and that will seal in the moisture and the warmth. And then you wanna take a kitchen towel, and I prefer one that's a little bit thicker just to kind of make sure that your entire bowl is covered and dark. You want the dough to be in a warm and dark environment. The ideal temperature for dough to rise is between 75 and 80 degrees. So right now it's kind of warm out, It's between 75 and 80 degrees, so I'm gonna bring it outside. Follow me. It's a perfect 75 degrees out here. And I found a dark corner on our porch that's really gonna help our dough rise. So I'm just gonna leave it to rest for 1 hour. It's going to about double in size, and that's really it. Let's go back in. Tastefully tip, so if it's not warm outside and it's the winter time, come into your laundry room, turn the dryer on, you can get some laundry done at the same time, and place your bread just on the top of your dryer where it's nice and warm. Try to maintain a 75 to 80 degree environment. Turn the light off and let it rise for about an hour. 1 hour later, we're back. So before the big reveal of our dough ball, I'm gonna show you what to do next. I have a baking sheet, a large, just regular baking sheet, and you're gonna flip it upside down. And then you're gonna put a piece of parchment paper right on the top. And by baking your baguettes on the back of your baking sheet, you're gonna let the air circulate really nicely around your baguettes, and it's gonna make your baguettes nice and crispy. And then the parchment is gonna prevent them from sticking. So, put that there. I'm gonna put a little bit of flour just on a working surface, and then a little bit right on the top of the parchment just to help it not stick a little bit more. And then I'll reveal. Voila! It's doubled. I'm gonna take our plastic wrap off. And then you just wanna take your fist and deflate your dough. And I'm gonna add a little bit of flour just to my hands to help sticking. And I'm gonna grab the dough and try to split this big dough ball in half to make 2 baguettes. Wow, look at that. Such beautiful dough. Here's one. Put that down and grab the other. Flour my hands a little bit more. We're gonna get a little messy. I'm gonna grab our first dough ball, and I'm just gonna stretch the dough ball. And there's no way of doing this perfectly. You just kind of wanna stretch it into a baguette shape. And you want it to be a little bit skinnier than what you want it to come out like, because we're going to do one final rise and the baguette is gonna expand and be a little bit thicker. So I'd say about that. And then you're gonna place your baguette right on the floured parchment, just like this, and repeat for the other one. Baguettes are formed. We're gonna put our towel, just our towel, not the plastic wrap, on the top of our baguettes, and we're gonna bring them back to our warm, dark place and let them rise for just 30 more minutes. Look at those baguettes. You just eat them raw. No. So, last step here before we bake is you're gonna take a nice sharp knife and you're gonna make little diagonal slits. And this will help the baguette have a nice texture when you bake it. So you just do little slits. Doesn't need to be perfect, but you kind of make them long across the baguette, just like this. We're gonna pop these in the oven, 450 degrees for about 19 to 22 minutes until they're nice and golden brown, and when you tap them, they're hollow. I took them out of the oven because they passed the hollow test. Hear that? Sounds hollow. They're nice and golden brown on the top. Look how amazing. Guys, this is one of the best pieces of bread I've ever had in my life, and it was made in just over 2 hours. chewy, amazing taste, soft. Check this out on tastefullygrace.com. You won't regret it. What would happen if you ate the yeast? Would you grow a baguette? Squeaky floor. We need to get that fixed.